This is the ZL brand LED interior light kit for the Mercedes W210. So this comes with everything or almost everything you need to put onto the car. So here is the inventory list. So I think for later model cars, you're going to be missing one light for the trunk because the trunk has 2 lights. Otherwise, everything else is complete. It has the dome lights, the vanity lights, the lights for the doors, everything that you should need. So here is the inventory. So I'm going to show you how to install it on the 210. And the only tools that you should be needing is a flat head, a really thin one, and that's pretty much it. So it includes the license plate lights, which we'll have to access through the inside of the trunk. So all we'll have to do is take out these pop rivets right here. So if you get a flat head, if you don't have the proper pop rivet removal tool, just go underneath, pry it up gently like that. You can pull that top piece out and then come back and pull it out the rest of the way. So we'll just do that for the top half. So up to here, we'll remove all these to get access to the trunk. Once you have half of the trunk carpet removed, like this, you can access the bulbs for the license plate lights right here. So it's kind of a tight fit, but you can get it with your hands. You might need to unplug the connectors and help yourself with a flathead screwdriver to get out. So we'll see, pull that out, carefully remove the other wires. And then now we have access to the bulb. Just make sure the length of the bulb is almost the same or the same as the new one. And then that's how you know this is the correct bulb to use. Okay, the way to do this is to remove the connectors, and then you'll have enough access to get the bulb in there. And it's a really tight fit, but if you fidget around enough, it will go in. And then once you get in there, just angle it outward so the light faces the outside, and we're done. Then we can connect the electrical connectors back. And we got one side working, that looks good, so we'll go ahead and check and see why this one isn't working. All right, so it turns out these bulbs are polarity sensitive, so if your one side's not working, go ahead and flip it around and it will work. So on the trunk, the little trick is you can actually just switch the connectors and that will reverse the polarity. If your car has the interior trunk light on the panel right here, while you're doing the trunk lights, this is the best way to do it. It's just a twist and you can pull it out. And this is actually a T10 bulb, which is not included with this kit. The T10 that's included is meant for the map light. If you want, I will include a link in the description for a separate bulb for this, but it is not included in this kit. All right, the next is the interior trunk light at the bottom. So this has a little access door right here, which you need to pop with a flathead screwdriver. Be careful not to scratch your paint. You might want to put a cloth in between and just pop the light. You want to push the light towards the right side and then down. It's going to feel pretty bad and it's going to pop. And you have access to the light. And then this light is longer than the others, so be sure to get the corresponding LED. So underneath the door panel, there's a courtesy light right here. And to access it, you just need a flathead. So just get your flathead on the side right here. Kind of wedge it in and pry it out gently like that. Pop right out. And these will get hot. You should disconnect the lights to get the light turned off, and it will look just like this. And you can take the bulb out and replace it. And just make sure when you put the bulb back in that you put the diodes facing down. And then install is reverse. Plug it back in and then line up the light like that, and then push it back into place. And that's it. All 4 doors are the same way. All right, so here's the rear dome light. So we're gonna have to pry it out from front to back like that. So we can actually just do this by hand if you have enough grip, or you can also use a screwdriver. Be careful not to damage your headliner. So the way that this works is it's hooked on the back. You see these are hooks right there in the back. You got these metal clips. So you want to get a flathead screwdriver right where the metal clip is and push it inward. So this is about the approximate location right there where you kind of see that pattern. So you just push it in and it'll pop right out, and you have access to the light right here. You're going to want to open the backing plate right here. Okay, the actual way you can take this out really easily is if you just grab it on the sides right here, pull, pop it right out, and then there's the bulb. So make sure you get the correct size bulb and replace it. Same concept as the other lights we've done. Okay, so the bulb in the back is actually one of the longer ones, so just make note of that and then just swap it out. All right, so once you have everything attached, let's just test it out, make sure it works. And once you confirm it's working, you go ahead and put it back in its slot. So you feed the back first, line it up with the frame, and then just push it up. And that's it for the rear dome light. All right, next up is the dome light. So you can actually just use your hands to pry the covers off. If you can't, there's a little slot right around here. You can just gently pry. Be careful not to break it. And if it's stuck, just carefully remove it. See nothing's broken. And do the same thing for the other side. So right around here is the spot. and that one just flew right off. So now we have access to 1, 2, and 3. You gotta be really careful with this one. This one is clipped in, so those clips are really easy to break, but these are easy to remove. Okay, so for this map light, I like to actually remove the dome light. So what you do is you grab a flathead right here to release these clips right here on the left and right side of the top. So you just push them downward and then slowly release, and it'll pop right out, and we can access this a little bit easier. You don't need to remove the actual dome light, so none of these connectors have to come off, but now we have access to the inside right here. And the benefit of accessing the inside is now we can release the clips inside of the actual map light right here. So you can use a flathead or your fingers and gently remove that, and it'll come outside. So what I did was I just pushed the pins down with a flathead, and now I can remove this light. As you can see, I'm removing it right here, and it comes right out. So if we go back on the other side, we'll see it's released, and we can swap it out. And this is the same T10 as the upper trunk light if you have it on your car. So this kit only comes with one of these, but you need two. So here is the light. Just be aware it is polarity sensitive, so check it before you put everything back together. So plug it in and see if it works. So the LED might be a little difficult to get in there, but it is possible. So we can just feed it through carefully into there and make sure the clips line up and it will snap into place. So this will definitely require a little bit of wiggling and finessing to get in there, but it is possible. Here it is back into place. So I fed the bottom ones in first and then pushed the top in, and it snapped into place. I didn't break any of the tabs. So just be really gentle, just go carefully, and see if the light works, and all the lights work. So the dome light goes in from the bottom to the top. So we'll see it goes in with those tongues right there at the bottom. Line it up, and then these will kind of help go into place. You might need to manipulate it with a flathead, or you might be able to just snap it in place by hand. This one seems a little loose, but a flathead will fix it, and then we can put the covers back on. So before you put your covers back on, make sure the lights are pointed outward, and then the covers go back on the same way, so bottom to top. So line up the bottom there, and then push the top pieces in like that. And here's the other one, so line it up there, and that's it. Everything works. Next up is the mirror light, which functions when you open the mirror. So this one has a little slot on the side right here on the left side if you're facing that way. So here we'll see it's clipped in. You want to push that inward to the right as far as possible and then down, and this whole thing will come right out. It is hooked on, and actually this wire is pretty short, so this is as far as it will come out right here. So we have to change out the light like that. So once you get the light in there, make sure you point it down, and before we close it up, make sure it works. If it doesn't, it's polarity sensitive, so just swap it. Just switch the sides around and then push it back in. You get the connector in first, push it up, and it snaps into place. That's all there is to it. The passenger side is mirrored, so it is on the opposite side, so it is on the right instead of the left. It's the same concept. Put your screwdriver in there, push it inward and down. Comes right out. Swap the bulb, put it back in. All right, and then the last one is the glove box. So we'll grab our flathead, put it right on the corner on this side, and then push down, and we'll get it loose. We'll have access to our bulb, and this is like the other ones, exactly the same concept. All right, so once the bulb is in there, just make sure it works. So this one I have to put the key in, and if it works, we're good to go. And just like the other bulbs, it goes in with the connector side first. You can feed the clip, and that's it. All right, so there you go. That is how you put LED lights on the interior of your 210. So the license plate lights will not cause error on this car. And all the products that I mentioned in here with the extra bulb and all that stuff that's not included is in the description. I hope you found the video helpful, and thank you for watching. All right, here's what the lights look like at night. So I'm at the back of my car in my garage. So once I unlock the car, we'll see that through my tint, which is 20%. It's pretty dark in the daytime. It illuminates it pretty well. And then if we open the door, of course, it's extremely bright compared to before. Got the nice bright puddle lights on this. So you will definitely notice how much brighter these lights are than your halogen lights. You do get used to it over time, and it's not annoying. This is actually really nice. It's way easier to see the interior, way easier to see what you're doing, and it's really nice to have. So these are the 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin pure white bulbs. So some people may not like this. I think this works really good if your interior is gray or black. So this is like a black base interior with the two-tone red, but I think this works really good, especially on a black car, especially with the 210 xenon headlights. I think they match really well. However, I know not everyone is a fan of this white. However, they do make LEDs in warm white. Unfortunately, they'll make this kit in warm white, so if you want to get warm white lights, you'll have to piece it together yourself, but I'll show you what warm white LEDs look like. So this is my 124 with warm white LEDs on the interior, and they do look just like regular halogen lights, and they are just as bright as regular LEDs. So this, of course, I pieced it together myself. They don't make a kit in warm white for this car or the W210, but I think with the tan interior, it's like perfect. If you want to keep that original look, this is definitely the way to go. So it's just as bright as the white lights. So we'll take a look at the puddle light right here. I don't know if it's easy to pick up on camera, but that's definitely a warm white light. It's not that pure bright white color, or some people may consider it blue. And here's a comparison of the pedal light side by side. So on the right, the pure white definitely does look a little blue compared to the warm white. So obviously more modern cars will typically go towards the pure white versus the warm white. So you can definitely retain that original look if that's what you're going for. So here's a close-up with the exposure turned down on the pure white light. And same thing for the warm white. So hopefully you can kind of see the color difference. I know it might be difficult to pick up on camera, but literally these do look like just regular halogen light bulbs, but they do offer all the same benefits. So it's obviously much brighter, it stays cooler, so it will help preserve your plastics, and it draws less power. So hopefully that comparison will help you decide whether or not you want to do LEDs. I personally recommend them for any vehicle. With the color options, I think there's definitely no downside to doing this. Hope you found that helpful.